In Scottsbluff at Western Nebraska Community College. We're at Cougar Palace with 4 more games on the Saturday schedule to handle here on our KNEB.TV platforms. We'll have both Scottsbluff games today here on 107.3 The Trail, and both Gearing games will be on KMOR 93.3. Chris Cottrell alongside Jeff Kelly. And Jeff made it through yesterday. We've got 4 more to get through today. We'll crown a couple of champions as the afternoon and evening moves along and sets in. Let's kind of recap some of the action from yesterday. We'll start with the girls bracket as we'll have a girls third place game to start. Up first today, it'll be Scottsbluff and North Platte. In a kind of a tough bounce back spot here for the Scottsbluff girls. They played the late game last night, lost arch rival Gearing for the second time in a week, and they've got to sort of flush that, be able to put it behind them to come out here and try and go 2-1 and finish in third.
And that's one thing about this tournament, playing 3 games over 3 days. You don't have a lot of time to dwell on those losses, and especially for Scottsbluff, as you said. They lose to Gearing for the second time in less than a week, and then they have to turn around and try and get things back on track and take on a North Platte team that struggled a little bit yesterday against Sydney. 2 of their top players not in the lineup. So I think it's a good chance for Scottsbluff to get a bounce back here this morning.
And they need exactly that. So Scottsbluff lost to Gearing in the girls. North Platte lost to Sydney. So that sets up the girls' championship game today, one that I'm really looking forward to. That'll be game 3 today on KMOR and on the TV side. Sydney yesterday beating North Platte 61-28. It was a 10-point win for Gearing over Scottsbluff. 2 teams that played on the opening weekend of the season. We asked the Gearing girls coach after the win. We'll hear that conversation ahead of tip-off today. Gearing could be in a good spot today to get the job done, but as we talked about on our conversation with Coach Macias, 3 games in 3 days and all that depth and experience that Sydney has, that could come into play today.
Yeah, Gearing really only goes about 7 deep, so that is going to be a concern for them, as Sydney, as we've seen, will go 5 in, 5 out at about every 3-minute interval throughout the quarter, so that's definitely going to be a test for Gearing here in that girls' championship game. But it was a 1-point game when those 2 teams met up earlier this season, so it'll be interesting to see how I know how far Gearing has come. It'll be interesting to see how they handle Sydney the second time around.
The body language, just the way everybody's been moving and interacting from what I've seen from Gearing in both the Scottsbluff games here in the last week and then last night. They've got some swagger to them,
yeah.
And they've got a lot of belief and confidence right now, it seems.
Definitely from the time that they beat Scottsbluff last Saturday, I think that gave them a lot of confidence. It was the first win over Scottsbluff, I think, since 2017. I could be wrong on that. But, that really gave this team a lot of confidence. And some of those senior players like Mackenzie Todd, that was the first time that they've beaten Scottsbluff in their high school career. And, you just kind of wonder, you hope it's not just a flash in the pan type of thing. But I think with that win over Scottsbluff yesterday, when Scottsbluff made a little bit of a run in that third quarter, Gearing was able to hang on and get the 10-point win. So, I think, as you said, they are playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Yeah, they had the big lead at halftime. Scottsbluff opened the third quarter, scoring the first 7 points. But even with that 7-0 run, it was still a 9-point lead, and Gearing really stayed in control throughout. So should be fun as far as that girls' championship game today with Sydney and Gearing. And with the big Scottsbluff boys game against Sydney to follow, by the time we get to that girls' championship game today, you got to imagine the environment here is going to be really, really good.
Yeah, I think this gym is going to be as full as it's probably been over this 3-day tournament for the girls and the boys' championship game. And I think that's going to be a game on the boys' side. That championship game is going to be all that it's going to be cracked up to be, because you've got a Sydney team that is playing very well right now and a Scottsbluff team, that even though they got beat by Ogallala, they have just, they do what Scottsbluff does.
We'll talk more about these boys' games here in a moment. Day 3 of 3, 4 games on our schedule for prep basketball here at the Western Conference Boys and Girls Tournaments. We'll come back with more right after this on the Rural Radio Network.
Coverage of the 2025 Western Conference Basketball Tournament on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Wesco, Papa Murphy's, Team Auto Center, Riverstone Bank, and Advantage Chiropractic.
But yeah, I love working on the grill. I'll flip my burgers with season on them. I press them again. It's just really satisfying seeing how beautiful they turn out. Quite honestly, when I'm on the grill, we should really be charging double with the quality and love that I put into them.
Chris Cottrell back with Jeff Kelly. As now we'll kind of move our conversation to the boys' games. Our first boys' game today will be that third-place matchup between Gering and Alliance. Gering got beat yesterday by Scottsbluff, 73-39, and Alliance got hammered by Sidney. 69-33 was the final in that one. Alliance beat Sidney earlier this year. Clearly, yesterday, Sidney came out with a point to prove. But as far as the Gering Alliance matchup, for Gering and boys head coach Trey Winkler, a winnable game today and a chance to go 2-1 this weekend, which, despite the disappointment yesterday, 2-1, they'd have to feel pretty good about that.
Especially this time of the season. You know, they lost to Chadron a week ago Friday. They lost to Scottsbluff pretty handily the night after that. And, you know, then they come up against Scottsbluff again in less than a week and just really did not show up, which was surprising because they looked very good against Chadron on Thursday night. They jumped out to an early lead. They were able to hold on to that lead, which in some games this season, Gering has fallen behind early, and they've just never really been able to get out of that hole. But they looked very good, probably the best they've looked all season against Chadron Thursday night. And then, as I said before, it's almost a 180-degree turn as we saw against Scottsbluff yesterday.
And for Alliance yesterday, there was just a lid on the rim for it felt like about 2.5 quarters. They could not get anything to drop, and maybe a bit of a new shooting environment here, getting to WNCC, the bigger arena, and kind of that open look behind the backboards. But it was a struggle offensively for Alliance yesterday.
And I'm sure Alliance was pretty frustrated with that, and I'm sure Espen Lonick was the most frustrated. I mean, he was put up about 4 or 5 threes, none of those fell, and then finally he put up one. He got fouled on that one, fell through. But yeah, I mean, it just was like Alliance was not able to buy a basket yesterday against Sidney.
Yeah, I visited with their first-year head coach Jordan Mills ahead of the game. I just have a feeling he'll get on that team and have them ready to go today, just like Coach Winkler will. So I would expect literally it's going to be a dogfight with Alliance and Gering, both of the Bulldog teams. But it's going to be a scrappy ball game when we get to game number 2. And then we touched on it for just a brief moment. The boys' championship game today should be outstanding. Talk about a contrast in styles and what teams want to do. Sidney can be a little bit more methodical, very big and strong. They'll hammer the glass. And, of course, Scottsbluff, they want to get out and run, put the three-point shot up, and they're one of the top teams in Class B. It should be a fun one.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be one of the top games in the area this season so far, and it's going to be a fun one to watch. As you said, 2 contrasting styles, and very impressed with Kean Kaiser for the Red Raiders yesterday. I guess I had seen him earlier in the season, but hadn't seen him up close like I did yesterday, and just a very impressive ball player.
Yeah, he was able to knock down at least 1 3, had a couple of mid-range buckets, and of course, you know, he can play with his back to the basket down low in the paint. So, yeah, he was outstanding yesterday. Well, what we'll do right now is we'll take another quick break, and when we come back, we'll have the introduction of starting lineups for you right after this.
Western Conference Basketball Tournament on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Legacy Co-op, Bunkhouse Trailer Sales, WNCC, Russell's Automotive, and Reds. Coverage.
Welcome to Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. Whether you're a wine enthusiast, a whiskey sommelier, a tequila connoisseur, or you just love your beer, Kelly's has the best selection of what you're looking for. Family owned and operated since 1946 and right on 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Come see us today at Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. And remember to be a good neighbor. Don't drink and drive. Kelly's Liquor, West 27th Street in Scottsbluff.
We're more than a bank. We're a neighbor you can count.
Scottsbluff, no changes to yesterday's starting lineup. Ava Reed, the 5'10 junior. Nini Garola, 5'10 senior. Mia Bowles, a 5'10 junior. Addie Bolin was back in the lineup since for the first time since the second week into the season. She's a 5'10 junior. And in the backcourt, Kinsley Hess, a 5'5 senior. Scottsbluff enters today with a record of 8-10, beaten last night here by Gehring, 49-39. For North Platte, head coach Tyson Hammond, they've got one change to their starting lineup. Their record 6-12. Abby Kaminsky, a 5'8 senior, their top scorer. Josie Douglas, a 5'9 sophomore. Addison Euling, a 6' senior. 5'8 sophomore J.C. Burke and 5'8 junior Katie Titus will be your starting five for North Platte in this one. Quick turnaround for the Scottsbluff girls after they played the late game last night. Again, the 10-point loss here against Gehring. They'll be in the red uniforms, North Platte in the whites here for the third place game. Our opening tip always brought to you by Papa Murphy's Pizza, where you can heat things up this Valentine's Day with a Heart Baker pizza. Get that signature pepperoni or cheese pizza in the shape of a heart for $11. You can order online. Opening tip controlled by Scottsbluff. We are underway from Cougar Palace. Scottsbluff with it here in the half court. Ball works into the corner. It's a zone look here on the opening possession defensively for North Platte. Scottsbluff able to dump it down low. Nini Garola can't get it to go from just inside the right block area. Abby Kaminsky will bring the ball up the floor. Kaminsky picks up her dribble. Josie Douglas turned it over with a pretty good frequency yesterday. Douglas did, but also was able to knock down some three-point shots, so a little hit or miss. She's got it on the right wing. They give it to Titus, right block. Double team comes. Did not really see the rim when she shot that, and it comes up short. Scottsbluff looking for a transition opportunity. Ava Reed with the left hand can't get the layup to go. Contested shot defensively from the Bulldogs. Kaminsky to Burke. Burke's a sophomore. Kaminsky open look. She'll shoot the three. That one caroms off the iron, off the backboard, and into the hands of the Bearcats. Addie Bolin will bring it up the floor. We are scoreless, a little over 1 minute in. Skip pass near side to Reed. Reed. Jeff, she has to be loving the fact she's not dealing with the Gehring defense from the last couple of games.
Gehring always throwing a double team at her anytime she touched the ball, and I think she struggled with that just a little bit. She had 11 points.
Underneath
yesterday.
as Kinsley Hess draws a defender and leaves it for Nini Garola. That gets the scoring started here on a Saturday morning. A 2-0 lead for Scottsbluff as they look for a 2-1 record here this weekend at Western Conference. Scottsbluff next weekend will host Sydney on Friday night and then head to Alliance for a couple of regional matchups next weekend. We've got a whistle and a foul. It looks like that's going to go against Kinsley Hess of the Bearcats, defending Abby Kaminsky.
Kinsley Hess held scoreless yesterday in that loss to Gehring, so she's probably looking to get on the scoring train here this afternoon, or I should say this morning against North Platte.
Kaminsky catches right wing, puts it on the deck. Can't get the bank shot to go from just inside the paint. Here comes Scottsbluff. Reed to Hess. Hess right wing into the corner Bowles. That was her spot yesterday with a couple of first half three-pointers. And we'll get a whistle and a foul. That'll be Josie Douglas whistled for the foul.
Douglas trying to reach in, knock that ball away, just got a little bit of the arm that time.
5:45 to play here in quarter number one. Bearcats leading 2-0. They've got the basketball. Baseline dribble drive action that time from Bowles. Lost possession of the basketball, and that'll wind up a turnover as we get a whistle and a held ball situation. First turnover committed by Scottsbluff. And North Platte gets it back. Kaminsky handles into the front court. Douglas with it on the right wing. Titus will swing it to the left side of the floor. Addison Euling, really a rebounder and a screener for much of yesterday. Even there on a post touch, does not look for a shot. Douglas does from beyond the arc right side. It will not go, and Addie Bolin the rebound. Ava Reed gets it up the floor, far side to Kinsley Hess. Bowles in the right corner. Now Reed. Scottsbluff moving the ball well. It was a slow start in the first half yesterday for Addie Bolin, but was able to find her sea legs and played much better in the third and fourth quarters. When Scottsbluff is at their best, it includes Nini Garola scoring up over 10, getting close to 15 points, and she's got the first 4 of the game here for Scottsbluff. They lead it 4-0. Josie Douglas down low on the dribble, finds an open shooter, and J.C. Burke answers the bell for North Platte. 3 ball gets North Platte to within 1. 4-3 Scottsbluff. North Platte will shift that zone and try to make sure they check Ava Reed anytime she gets a touch. Now it's Bolin into the left corner. Pass goes to Reed. Airmails that three-pointer. And it's Douglas with the basketball. She'll give it up to Euling. Euling will take a couple of dribbles and find Abby Kaminsky. Kaminsky's 3 won't go. Offensive rebound goes to Burke. The stick back off the square too strong, and now Scottsbluff. Up-tempo action for the most part here in the early going. 3:47 to play first quarter. Bolin, a deep college three-point attempt, left it short.
I'm sure that's not the best shot selection that Hattie Burford wants to see from her team in the first quarter.
Yeah, about 5 seconds into the shot clock, you can get that one at pretty much any point of your offense. And now Heidi Grosskopf will check in, and Phoenix Brown will enter the game for North Platte. It'll be Mia Bowles getting a breather. As Grosskopf. Late yesterday in the game, I noticed she did not come back in after being taken out. And then at one point, James Buck and her mother were talking over here, so I wonder if maybe she had a little injury or health situation, but whatever it was nothing too severe. She's back on the game floor here this morning. Josie Douglas now on the right wing. Douglas, couple of dribbles. Hess got a hand on that pass, and now we're going to get a carry called on Abby Kaminsky.
Of course, this North Platte team playing without Chloe Hanneborg and also Kiki Williams, probably 2 key parts of their team, and I think it has been a little bit of a struggle for the North Platte Bulldogs this season to this point.
30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. Scottsbluff girls leading North Platte 4-3. We've got a total of 4 games this morning and this afternoon, and that'll bleed into your Saturday evening as well. Next up after this one, the Alliance boys and Gering in the third place matchup in the boys bracket. Then we'll get to the 2 championship games. Should be some good stuff with the Gering girls and Sydney, and then the boys championship game, Scottsbluff and Sydney. 3:15 to play here in quarter number 1 for this girls' third place matchup. Out of the timeout, Hess, Reed, Grosskopf, Bolin, and Garola. Now some pressure in the full court. North Platte will look to trap. Instead, Scottsbluff throws it middle, a near turnover, but Grosskopf comes up with the loose ball. And Heidi goes up strong, missed the shot, but she's fouled, and free throws coming for Grosskopf.
Nice job there by Grosskopf to pick up that loose ball and was able to draw the foul, but early pressure from North Platte.
Both teams doing a nice job keeping the turnovers in check here early. 1 apiece as Grosskopf able to convert at the line. Came into the weekend shooting just 27% at the free throw line. Looks solid on that first. Next is on the way. A little bit short. Phoenix Brown the rebound. quickly to Abby Kaminsky. That'll be their best ball handler and scorer. She had 34 in a win over Chadron on Thursday night in round 1. Kaminsky on the catch. Hess got to her quickly. Now Josie Douglas will hoist from downtown. Douglas can't get it to go. Ball loose. Should be a jump ball, and that'll go back to Scottsbluff. Ruth Lively will check in now for the first time, and re-entering the game for the Bearcats is Mia Bowles. North Platte will stick with that trapping zone press look here on this possession. Grosskopf, overthrow on the pass right to Euling. Scottsbluff with the turnover. Kaminsky dribbles up top, takes it to the right. Handoff action with Burke. Now Douglas. Josie Douglas throws it back to the left wing to Kaminsky. Euling looks opposite corner. Burke has connected on 1-3. That one well short, and here come the Bearcats. Lead pass from Reed to Grosskopf. Right block feed. Nice assist from Heidi Grosskopf, and Addie Bolin able to finish at the rim. Scottsbluff extends to a 7-3 lead.
So far, Scottsbluff handling the North Platte pressure pretty well.
Good offensive set that time, and North Platte able to capitalize. They get it to Douglas at the right elbow. They showed some handoff action. She kept it, almost like a zone read you might see at the college or pro level in football that time. And Douglas, playing the role of quarterback, just kept it herself and turned and took it right to the bucket for the layup. Shot clock at 15 for the Bearcats here in the left corner. Ava Reed unable to get going from the outside. Another three-point miss. Douglas has it for North Platte. 1:20 to play in the opening quarter. A 7-5 lead for Scottsbluff in our girls' third place game. Right side, Kaminsky, that's going up. She's going to be that wide open each and every time. Can't get it to go out of the right side corner along the baseline. Bearcats high dribble that time. North Platte wanted a carry. She must have kept that hand on top of it. Mia Bowles can't convert. Offensive rebound to Ruth Lively, and then a throwaway.
Into the game for North
For
Platte.
Scottsbluff, and that ball is going to go to North Platte. Third turnover for the Bearcats. 55 seconds to play. Opening quarter of action here at the Palace. Speaking of the Palace, big win for the Cougar men last night on the road at North Platte Community College. Like 101-97. Cougar men are now a high-octane unit, and they are 3-1 in South Sub-Region play as North Platte on the catch. Burke was standing along the near sideline. That'll be a turnover, second of the game for North Platte. 45 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Ava Reed will bring it left side. Reed gives to Hess. Now Lively on a baseline drive. Ruth Lively. And tipped up and in by Garola.
Yep, that's who it was.
Bearcats chuckling at that. Going back down sometimes. It's better to be good. Phoenix Brown. Can't dribble past Mia Bowles, but she kind of powers through Bowles, misses the shot, grabs an offensive rebound. And Jeff, they've kind of gone to that high post look a couple of times there at that right elbow, and that's paid some dividends for them.
So far, that's been exactly what North Platte's been doing. We haven't seen any traveling calls yet from Josie Douglas. She was pretty consistent with that yesterday in the loss.
Phoenix Brown, early minutes today, able to convert the first at the line. Ava Franzen has checked in, and also for North Platte into the game is J.C. Fox. Franzen, a junior, Fox, a sophomore. Big fans of that North Platte coaching staff on the girls' side. Tyson Hammond, their head coach. And Phoenix Brown hit both of her free throws yesterday, and she starts 2 for 2 in this one. 9-7 lead for Scottsbluff. Pressure in the backcourt from North Platte. 5 seconds to play. And a whistle comes as Hess was making a pass. That'll be the 4th team foul, second personal on Douglas, and the Bearcats will inbound on the far wing with 4.9 to play. Comes into Ava Reed. Burke picks her up. They get the screen. Reed will shoot over a defender, and that'll come up short as the buzzer sounds. After 1 quarter of play here at Cougar Palace, the Scottsbluff girls lead North Platte 9-7 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2025 Western Conference Basketball Tournament on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Consumers Cooperative Federal Credit Union, Western Nebraska Regional Airport, Regional West, and Pipeworks Plumbing. When it comes to your health, you deserve the very best. At Morrill County Community Hospital, they provide top-notch care with compassion and expertise. From routine checkups to advanced surgeries, their dedicated team is here for you 24/7. With state-of-the-art technology and a patient-first approach, they ensure you and your loved ones receive the highest quality care. Because at Morrill County Community Hospital, your health is their priority. Visit Morrill County Community Hospital today in Bridgeport. Morrill County Community Hospital. Exceptional care right here at home.
All things considered, Jeff, here for the early start on the final day of 3 straight days for both these teams. Not too bad. A total of just 5 turnovers, and both teams doing a pretty good job of valuing the basketball. Scottsbluff with the 2-point lead.
Exactly. We haven't seen a lot of turnovers. We haven't seen a lot of traveling or anything like that early in this game, and it kind of says a lot, especially about Scottsbluff when they had to play the late game yesterday and then had to be right back here to play the 11 o'clock game.
North Platte will begin this second quarter with the basketball. Katie Titus, now Josie Douglas. Extended, well away from the basket. That'll be a foul on Addie Bolin of Scottsbluff as they got it down low to Titus.
Fouls on number 1, Addie Bolin, her first. Scottsbluff's first.
Bolin looked a little out of sorts early yesterday, but you got to figure with each and every minute or quarter she plays, that game experience will shake the rust off in a hurry. Very athletic player and a big boost to this Scottsbluff team to have her back for the home stretch of the season. Underneath, Nini Garola off to a great start. She's got 8. For the Bearcats, they lead at 11-7. Kaminsky spins. Gets to the foul line, outside on the pass. It goes to Burke. Line drive 3 won't go. Bolin the rebound, and she'll turn and take it herself. Ava Reed wants it behind the college 3-point line. Slips the bounce pass to Garola. Garola is trying to drive to the bucket. Nothing there. They'll reset on the perimeter. Reed, catch and shoot triple. Off the mark. Ava's outside shot right now, just not where she wants it to be. Offensive rebound. Or Scottsbluff will get a whistle and a foul. That'll go against North Platte's. That's Josie Douglas. That's her third, and that's a big whistle. That's some 3-point shooting in Douglas for the Bulldogs, and they'll probably have to get her out of the ball game here in a moment. Tyson Hammond, their head coach, having a conversation. Bit animated over on the far side with the official as Bowles is off the mark on that first free throw. Missed them both.
Jump ball.
Nini Garola able to get her hands in there and tie up Titus, but the possession arrow, it'll stay with Scottsbluff.
Direction, Scottsbluff basketball.
Talking about Addie Bolin yesterday, she came in and scored 9 points, maybe a little bit of a slow start. She had tape on that hand that she injured. There's no tape on that hand this morning.
Said it earlier, when Scottsbluff plays well, that's going to be Nini Garola factoring in big time, and she's in double figures now with 10 in the lead at 6 points, 13-7. Scottsbluff in front. Their bench fully engaged this morning. Kaminsky, right side Burke, shot fake, now a little runner, and she gets it to go along the baseline right side. Ava Reed, I believe, going to be whistled for the personal. Nice finish there. I thought Burke maybe passed up the open look she needed to take for a tougher shot, but credit her. Found the bottom of the net, and a chance for a 3-point play. First personal foul on Reed, second foul on Scottsbluff in the quarter. Burke can't hit the free throw. She's got 5 points, 13-9 Scottsbluff. Reed quickly to Hess. Hess came over from Morrill, and Boland came over from Mitchell. Starters for the volleyball team, and here on the basketball squad. Missed three for Mia Bowles, left corner, but Scottsbluff tracks the rebound down. Tough to rebound out of the zone defensively. Garola can't get it to go, but another O board. Hess on the drive, gives to Bowles. Pass deflected. Garola on the catch near the foul line. Ava Reed leans back into that three-point shot off the back of the iron. And North Platte finally able to clear a defensive rebound. 5:40 to play. They trail by just 4. Burke gives to Kaminsky. Open look for 3. Abby Kaminsky gets it to go. For Kaminsky, her first basket, and that brings North Platte to within 1, 13-12. Garola on the catch, middle of the floor against the zone. That's a great spot to get it against that zone. Kinsley Hess will put up the 3. That misses badly, but again, North Platte struggling to rebound in this zone. Boland on the drive, and Euling will be tied. No, it'll be a reach-in foul called against Nini Garola. So Garola whistled for the personal. With 5:08 to play, we'll get a couple of substitutions here for the Bearcats, with Boland and Garola heading to the bench. Lively and Grosskopf are back in the game. Burke to Titus. We'll go under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Kaminsky feeling it after that last make, and might have been better served to keep that one in the holster, as that one just sails out of bounds. 4:50 to play here in this first half. North Platte off the dead ball will set up the zone press, and they force a Scottsbluff turnover, the 4th of the game. But then Scottsbluff able to rip it away and get it right back, and we have a foul called against J.C. Burke, her first personal, second team foul. 4:40 to play here in the first half. A half that has turned into a low-scoring contest. Ruth Lively. Burke got a hand in the passing lane, but Bowles runs it down in the backcourt. And a push from behind will go against North Platte.
2 quick ones on Burke there. They've already got Douglas on the bench with 3. So far, most of the offense from North Platte has come from J.C. Burke.
Burke's got 5, Douglas with 4, and Kaminsky hit that 3 here as well. Hess.
Shot clock isn't going.
And Hess whistled for a travel. 5th turnover of the game committed by Scottsbluff. And North Platte will have it. Coming up on 4:15 to play here in the second quarter. Euling on the perimeter. Just a ball mover in that setup. Kaminsky. Oh, nice move. Split 2 defenders. Pretty offensive play. That's the best offensive play we've seen in this one. Quick change of direction from Kaminsky, and then the layup with the right hand.
First lead change here in the first half.
North Platte goes in front 14-13. Hess lobs it to the opposite corner to Grosskopf. Oh, nice cut off the ball that time from Boland. Good look on the pass from Ava Reed, and Boland banks it in. Scottsbluff takes the lead right back, 15-14. And that'll be a North Platte turnover. No, they'll say Hess got a hand on it on the deflection. Ruth Lively back to the bench, and Nini Garola checks in. Titus will sit for North Platte. Fox will inbound. Here on the near side of the floor. Comes to Kaminsky. That was a pretty offensive finish she had moments ago. Phoenix Brown called for a double dribble.
She got the ball just a little bit too far underneath. I think she was trying to back her way out to put that shot up when she double dribbled with the ball.
Ava Reed into the front court. High post catch against the zone. Good job by Scottsbluff to get the ball middle of the floor. Groskopf loses it right in front of Tyson Hammond, the head coach for North Platte. That is turnover number 6 in the game for Scottsbluff. Just 10 total turnovers for these two teams so far in this first half. We drop under 3 minutes to play. Burke, right side wing, picks up her dribble. Groskopf defending. Now Euling. Back up top it comes to Burke in the right corner. Fox, shot clock at 5. Euling will take the 3. It won't go, and the rebound goes to Addie Bolin. Into the shot clock, and Euling forced to put up the 3-point attempt. Scottsbluff can make it a 3 or 4 point lead on this possession. Heidi Groskopf off one leg that time with the runner. It won't go. Offensive rebound. The putback off the mark. Kinsley Hess can't score. Still loose on the floor, and Scottsbluff with another offensive rebound. And Ava Reed with her first points of the first half puts Scottsbluff in front 17-14.
See if that gets Ava Reed going for the final 2 minutes of this first half.
She needed to see the ball go in the basket. Euling to Kaminsky, trying to tie things up, and she does. Abby Kaminsky. All 8 of her points coming in this second quarter, and we're tied at 17 with 1:40 to play in the half. Scottsbluff with Bolin, driving it into the paint, and a push goes against North Platte. That foul will be charged to J.C. Fox.
10. J.C. Fox, her first, North Platte's 4th.
4th team foul, first personal. Hess will sit, and Dominique Rodriguez enters the game for the first time.
Dominique Rodriguez in for the Bearcats.
Groskopf thought she had Mia Bowles with some eye contact for a quick inbounds pass. Bowles went to run the baseline out of bounds play. That's where the miscommunication happened. And on the bounce pass in, it just trickles out of bounds. Tough break there for Scottsbluff. I can see exactly what Groskopf was looking at, but Bowles just did not see the exact same thing that Heidi did. Kaminsky on some dribble penetration. She's fouled and free throws coming. Nope, they'll say on the floor.
I think a lot of the North Platte offense runs through Abby Kaminsky. 9 points for her yesterday, and with the exception of Josie Douglas, that was really all of the offense that North Platte had yesterday.
Scored just 28 points. Good looking inbounds play, and there's Addison Euling with her first basket. North Platte now with a 2-point lead, 19-17. Mia Bowles on the baseline drive, cut off, tried to slip the pass along the floor to Nini Garola. We'll get a whistle and a tie-up, and the possession arrow favors North Platte. Scottsbluff has turned it over 8 times in the game, 5 of those here in this second quarter. Pass immediately back in to replace Rodriguez. It's Bowles, Garola, Reed, Groskopf, and Hess, the 5 right now for Scottsbluff. We go under 1 minute to play, clock at 55 seconds. Euling out high for the screen. She'll get it and swing it right side to Phoenix Brown. Titus, good entry pass to Euling. She'll turn middle with the left hand off the backboard. Long outlet pass to Groskopf. Can Scottsbluff capitalize in transition? The missed shot from Heidi Groskopf. She grabs her own miss, gets it to Ava Reed, who finally knocks down that much needed 3-point basket. And Scottsbluff has the lead 20-19. North Platte, we'll see if they can get the final shot of the first half. A near turnover And Kaminsky was wanting Phoenix Brown to continue to come to the basketball as that pass knocked away out of bounds. It'll come into Kaminsky. Hess defends. Abby Kaminsky on the drive and kick. Phoenix Brown in the right corner. Into the paint. Kept her pivot foot. Wild shot off the square. Won't go, but the offensive rebound falls to J.C. Fox, and she's fouled. We'll get some free throws for Fox.
Just a little bit of a wild shot there by North Platte, but they're able to get that rebound and get the foul and go to the free throw line here to maybe tie this game up or take the lead.
First one will not go. 9 seconds to go. Ava Franzen back in for North Platte. Out there with Titus, Fox, Kaminsky, and Brown. Fox misses the second, and Garola rebounds for Scottsbluff. Quickly to Ava Reed, 5 seconds to play. Reed looks like she's going to take it herself. 3 ball on the way, comes up short. At halftime, Scottsbluff with a 1-point lead. They're on top of North Platte in our girls' third place game here at WNCC on a Saturday. 20-19 our score on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2025 Western Conference Basketball Tournament on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Allo, A. Elliott Law, Travis Hawk Shelter Insurance, Dustin White Irrigation, and B&C Steel.
Can be found at Western Sleep Medicine in Gering. Since 2006, Western Sleep Medicine has offered the lowest cost sleep testing either in their independent sleep laboratory or the privacy of your own home. You have control over your health care and your out-of-pocket cost. All insurance is accepted for a much lower cost than the regional option. If you need a sleep study, ask for Western Sleep Medicine. They've helped thousands of people over the years and want to help you. Western Sleep Medicine. Better sleep, better health.
I would definitely recommend Allo's business services to other companies. Allo's next-gen firewalls have allowed us to tie 6 physical locations together along with numerous remote employees to produce and collaborate and generate content for our local radio group. It is very important for Nebraska Rural Radio Association to have the best in internet and phone service. We rely upon that every single day. Allo provided me with a solution that fit our needs. They have a quality product, great technical support, and a local presence in their
Alongside Jeff Kelly, the first of 4 at halftime here for our girls' third place game for the Western Conference Basketball Tournament this season. Of course, this tournament used to be the very opening event of the season in the region on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday to tip off the hoop season, but now they move into the back end of January. And Jeff, I think for the most part, the coaches like the move here. It gives you a little less of a hectic, stressful opening start to the year, and you kind of have a better feel for where teams should be seated. And the deeper you get into the season, for teams that have designs on postseason play and deep runs, it also simulates tournament basketball.
Exactly, and talked to both Trey Winkler and to Brittany Macias for some pre-games earlier this week and asked them that exact question. Do you like this tournament where it is now, or do you like it, at the beginning of the year? Both of them said they like it at this point in the season, just for the reasons that you said. The seating's kind of better. You kind of know a little bit more about your team than you do right out of the box. And as you said, trying to simulates a little bit of tournament play later in the season. So I think all the coaches are kind of in favor of this move back to the end of January.
Scottsbluff and North Platte, 20-19 lead for the Bearcats here at halftime in our girls game. We'll have back-to-back Gering games after this. The Gering boys and Alliance in what should be a good one. Two teams that'll really be scrapping hard to win two times in these 3 days, and the loser of that one's going to walk out of here feeling a little bit bummed out about things, I think.
Yeah, exactly. You may come out of here with a 1-2 record, and you had a chance to play for third place. You'd like to be playing for the championship, but if you aren't able to get to that point, if you can come away from this 3-day tournament with a 2-1 record and third place in your pocket, that's got to make you feel pretty good going into this back end of the season as we are in the month of February. I was looking at the Gering girls schedule today. They play next week, next Friday and Saturday, and they play on the 14th and the 15th, and then they're right into their sub-district play. So, the season is going really fast, but I think this tournament, this tournament here could give some teams a boost going into the final part of the season, and some of these teams, may have to struggle towards the end of the season depending on how they come out of this tournament.
And for Scottsbluff, next weekend it's Sydney and Alliance. The following weekend it's North Platte and McCook. Not sure if it's reversed, but those are the two teams. And then, of course, that standalone boys game at Scottsbluff to end the regular season for the Scottsbluff and Gering boys teams. And it really feels like this high school basketball somehow, and I don't want to jinx things. Let's find some wood here, Jeff.
Yeah.
It feels like this high school basketball season has been moving at a pretty decent clip. And one thing that I think helps is, for the most part, we've had good driving weather for road trips.
Yeah, exactly. When you made the trip up to Gillette, Wyoming, usually that's just a little bit of a dicey drive, either going up there or coming back, and you had beautiful weather for that. Beautiful weather when I went back east for Crete, when Gering and Scottsbluff played down in Crete and Bennington. So, we have been blessed with the weather. But the month of January, I know for Scottsbluff was a grind, and it was a grind for Gering too, with all the games that they had to play traveling back east and then having to play 1 week on a Tuesday and then on a Friday and a Saturday. So I'm sure that a lot of these teams are looking forward to the end of the season, see where they can be in the postseason, but also kind of getting out of that January grind.
Halftime score here for our girls contest. Scottsbluff leading North Platte in a competitive one, 20-19 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Conference basketball tournament on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Wesco, Papa Murphy's, Team Auto Center, Riverstone Bank, and Advantage Chiropractic.
In a place where we could enjoy our golden years, where adventure and friendship are the only items on the schedule. The Garden Homes at Northfield gives us the luxury we planned for and peace of mind when it comes to convenience, safety, and comfort. We never have to stop and think about the day-to-day upkeep. We love to explore abroad, but most importantly in our backyard. So much to do, so much to see. Here at Northfield, we get the protection of life care, incredible tax benefits, and secured rates for aging services. It's peaceful, knowing that if our needs change, we'll be taken care of. And most importantly, that our kids will never have to make any tough decisions. There never seemed to be enough time to do all the things we wanted. Now we get to focus our energy on enjoying what this community has to offer. At the Garden Homes, life is ours again. A place we had dreamed about. A chance to focus on us.
Let's check a few halftime numbers here. 20-19 lead for Scottsbluff. Check on stats brought to you by Dr. Levi Bolin at Advantage Chiropractic in Scottsbluff. You can call for an appointment to get back to better health at 633-1425. 8 turnovers for Scottsbluff. I've got North Platte with only 4 unofficially. Bulldogs 2 for 3 at the line. They've hit 3 3-pointers. Scottsbluff 1 for 2 at the charity stripe with a couple of 3-point baskets. Scoring-wise, Nini Garola for Scottsbluff with 10. Ava Reed with 5. Addie Boland scored 4, and Heidi Grosskopf has 1. And for North Platte, Kaminsky with 8, 5 for Burke, 2 each for Douglas Euling and Phoenix Brown. We'll step away, and when we come back, we'll get to the start of the third quarter right after this.
Western Conference Basketball Tournament on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Legacy Co-op, Bunkhouse Trailer Sales, WNCC, Russell's Automotive, and Reds.
Beautiful hospital. It's the home to exceptional patient care. This is where specialty clinics meet your needs. This is where a friendly smile, a warm hand, and an empathetic ear exist to care for you. This is us. Box Butte General Hospital. Great things are happening here.
Basketball, they lead 20-19. Mia Bowles has it on the right side in the corner. It's Addie Boland, now Garola. Her pass is tipped into the hands of Kinsley Hess. Near travel, elbow jumper, Ava Reed. Nice job for Scottsbluff working against the zone. They get Reed in the middle of the floor. And that opens up a look for Reed. We'll see if they stick with that. Nice early look. Josie Douglas unable to knock down the 3. Reed runs down the rebound here in the near corner. Reed will throw it off Abby Kaminsky, and Scottsbluff will get it back. It is 22-19. Now some pressure here in the full court from the Bulldogs. Boland will bring it herself. Bounce pass to Bowles. Nini Garola, Ava Reed wide open for 3 off the iron. Tipped out by Hess into the hands of Titus. Ball loose on the floor. Scottsbluff has it. It's Nini Garola. She'll throw it back outside. Hess will drive it. Tough pull-up jump shot off the iron. Katie Titus, the rebound for North Platte. She got rid of it to Euling, who didn't want it. And instead it'll be Kaminsky. That'll be their best ball handler, bringing it up the floor. J.C. Burke at 5 first-half points, 3-pointer included. Now Euling out high left. Kaminsky had a nice second quarter with 8. Nice baseline drive. Nice move to get free, but then the help defense arrived, and we had a block shot. Outlet pass, 2-on-1 the numbers. Bowles pass, deflected. It goes to Reed. We'll get a foul called on Burke running in to Ava Reed. Third personal, I believe, there on J.C. Burke.
Bearcats maybe need to take a little bit better care of the ball. Some sloppy passing on that last offensive set.
6:27 to play in the third quarter. Reed, the inbounds pass. Scottsbluff with it. Top of the key, Reed, left side now in the corner. It's Grosskopf. Pass fake, got her open for a look. Couldn't hit the 6 to 8 footer, and now North Platte with the ball back, trailing by 3. Douglas has it. Now Burke on the left side. Couple of dribbles, back to Douglas. Douglas had 3 threes yesterday, has just 2 points in this one. Douglas on the catch. She'll drive it. Wild shot on the paint touch that time, but the ball fell right to Katie Titus, who got fouled. We'll get some free throws for Titus, the 5'8 junior. Second personal on Kinsley Hess. That one rims out on Titus. Lead stays at 3 for Scottsbluff at 22-19. Grosskopf will head to the bench. It's Garola, Boland, Hess, Bowles, and Reed. Titus gets 1 of 2. North Platte is 3 for 5 at the line. Now Bolin. They work it against the zone press, and they get the 2-on-1 and the conversion underneath. Easy layup for Nini Garola.
That was great ball movement by the Bearcats that time.
The lead now at 4 points, 24-20, 5:35 to play. Third quarter action here at Cougar Palace. Douglas needs some help. It'll come inbounds to Kaminsky near midcourt. Kaminsky picks up her dribble, quickly gets it to Burke. 25 on the shot clock. Burke to Euling. Douglas drives it into the paint. Won't go off the square. Ball loose on the floor. Grabbed by Kinsley Hess. Scottsbluff's got the numbers again. Should be an easy layup for Bolin. The assist to Ava Reed. And that'll force a timeout by North Platte. 5:10 to play in the third quarter. Scottsbluff extends to a 26-20 lead on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2025 Western Conference Basketball Tournament on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Consumers Cooperative Federal Credit Union, Western Nebraska Regional Airport, Regional West, and Pipeworks Plumbing.
That will last for generations. With more than 110 years of experience and thousands of satisfied customers, Morton Buildings is the industry leader you can trust. If you're planning for a garage, farm shop, horse barn, storage building for your RV, boat, or collectibles, there's no better time to buy. Contact your local Morton sales office or visit mortonbuildings.com to get started today.
.5:10 to play in the third quarter. Scottsbluff, after a 1-point lead at halftime, now up 6. 26-20, they lead North Platte. Bearcats will pick up at midcourt with Hess defending Kaminsky. Douglas on the catch in front of the North Platte bench. Picks up her dribble, needs some help. Trying to spin away from Mia Bowles, gets it to Abby Kaminsky. We're under 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Kaminsky had it poked away by the help defender, Addie Bolin, but it stays with the Bulldogs. Douglas with 10 on the shot clock. Douglas, Kaminsky. Abby Kaminsky. Now Douglas, open look, she'll put it up. Good shot with the shot clock winding down, but just would not drop. Lead pass from Reed to Garola. Little too fast moving on the catch and trying to go up and score the basketball that time. Left it short off the front of the iron. Back cut by Kaminsky. And I think she wanted a foul, but that whistle then comes, and it'll be a North Platte reach-in foul after the Kaminsky miss. That'll be number 4 on J.C. Burke.
Foul on number 4, J.C. Burke, her fourth.
Douglas was the one in early foul trouble with 3, but now it's Burke who's the first of 4, and she'll head to the bench. And this is a key stretch here for North Platte, Jeff. They've got to stay within distance.
Yeah, Bearcats on a 6-1 run right now. And Bulldogs need to keep it as close as they can with Ava Reed on a 3.
Would not go. Clean look at the rim that time for Reed. She's knocked down just the 1 triple. She has 7 points. Garola leading all scorers with 12. Kaminsky to Euling. Euling that far away from the basket. Unless it was a late shot clock touch, she is not going to shoot the ball that far away. Douglas, Kaminsky. She'll put it up. Long rebound comes out. Hess had to go after it just to keep Kaminsky from getting to it. And Hess throws it back in bounds, and North Platte will reset. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to play in this third quarter. Kaminsky, nice little pump fake, got her free. Got her loose from 2 defenders, and Kaminsky now, the first North Platte player in double figures. She's got 10, 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Bolin. Lively's checked back in now for Scottsbluff. Bowles, Hess, Lively, Bolin, and Reed. And a blocking foul on the baseline drive that time from Kinsley Hess. Foul will go against J.C. Fox, her second personal.
Foul on number 10, J.C. Fox, her second, North Platte's third.
Bearcats have it. Bolin. High left. Will give to Reed in the right corner. It's Grosskopf. And Ava Reed, we'll go with another football analogy here, Jeff. A wide receiver looking to get upfield. Did not watch it all the way into the hands and tuck it that time. Shot right through her hands and out of bounds. Scottsbluff, their first turnover of the third quarter. North Platte down 4 with the ball. Kaminsky looks to drive. Cut off. Now Euling will shoot the three. Knock it down. Addison Euling. Need more of that.
See if North Platte comes back out in that zone as they had it the last time down the floor.
That's the first outside shot other than that 1-3 she attempted with the shot clock running down. We've seen Euling take here in the 2 days, and a big make it was. It brings North Platte back to within 1. Scottsbluff will continue to have to play good basketball down the stretch here as they look for a third place finish at the Western Conference Tournament. 1:45 to play. Bolin spins, got deep, rims out on her, and Euling grabs the rebound. Kaminsky floats it into the hands of Douglas. 90 seconds to play in the third quarter. Fox on the catch. Douglas trying to shake the defense. Reed backs off. Now it's Phoenix Brown. She walked with it.
Haven't seen a lot of that from North Platte, not quite as much as we saw yesterday.
Just their 6th turnover, second here in the quarter. And with 1:10 to play in the third, Scottsbluff with the ball, leading by 1. Bolin gives to Garola. And Nini leaves the shot short, but Phoenix Brown will be whistled for the blocking foul. Garola with 12 will step to the line. Came into the weekend shooting 54% at the stripe. Game 2 today will be TV and KMOR 93.3. Gehring and Alliance on the boys' side. Nini Garola hits the foul shot.
Into the game for the Bearcats, Heidi Grosskopf.
Bolin to the bench. Grosskopf back in. 2-point lead. Another free throw for Garola. A little bit strong, but Grosskopf the O board and the conversion. So a 3-point possession for Scottsbluff, and they now lead it by 4. It's a big final stretch here. 54 seconds to play in this third if you're North Platte. You'll want the bucket, but you can't go without a basket and then give one up here to end the quarter and go down by 6 or 7 starting the fourth. Offense has been at a premium in this one, and 6-point lead feels more like 10 or 12 on a day like this, especially as the legs start to get a little weary in the third game of 3 straight days of action. Shot clock at 5. Douglas, does North Platte realize they've got to get a shot away? Douglas, step back 3, got it off in time, came up short. They'll play on. Kinsley Hess might have got away with a double dribble right there. Nini Garola's shot would not go. 14 seconds to play. Douglas will wait for help. She'll get it to Kaminsky. So an opportunity here for North Platte. 8 seconds to play. Douglas dribbles up top. Douglas into the paint. She walked with it.
Yep, I was going to say there's an extra step there from Douglas.
Simply put, this has been an ugly final 56 seconds here for these two squads. But again, like we said, tired legs, back into 3 straight. And Ava Reed will fire it into the bleachers. Buzzer sound. Scottsbluff will lead it by 4. We head to the 4th. Cats in front, 29-25 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2025 Western Conference Basketball Tournament on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Allo, A. Elliott Law, Travis Hawk Shelter Insurance, Dustin White Irrigation, and B&C Steel.
By Anderson, a great investment? You're darn right they are. Did you know that for less than your cable bill or cell phone bill each month, you could have new windows from Renewal by Anderson right now? Do the math. Renewal by Anderson windows will likely cut your energy bills significantly. They will likely substantially increase the value of your home. They're a great investment. Please contact our team now and ask about our fantastic financing options with approved credit right now. Renewal by Anderson, a great investment? You're darn right.
Chris Cottrell, Jeff Kelly, glad to have you listening and watching today on all our Rural Radio Network, Scottsbluff platforms, TV on Allo and Mobius and our YouTube channel, and of course our radio broadcast for you here on the trail. North Platte will start the 4th quarter with the ball, down 4, 29-25 Scottsbluff. Josie Douglas just inside the 10-foot stripe. Addison Euling, she heard me over here, and now she's letting it fly from behind the arc. Again, Hess, lucky she was not called for a double dribble. Nearly lost possession, and Scottsbluff able to hold on to the basketball. Bulls, they'll skip it into the hands of Ava Reed. Underneath, wide open look for Nini Garola, going strong to the rack all game long. She's got 15.
Big part of that Scottsbluff offense with Ava Reed struggling just a little bit in this one.
Katie Titus goes to the spin move to the middle of the floor with the left-hand jump hook, fouled, and she'll get free throws. That'll be the 3rd personal foul on Addie Boland. Titus is 1 for 2 at the line, able to knock that one down. Her 2nd point today trims the Scottsbluff lead to 5, 31-26. Titus, pure on that one. 3 for 4 at the line today. Couple of big makes there for North Platte from Katie Titus. Makes it a 4-point game again. Kaminsky defends against Tess. Boland picks up her dribble behind the college 3-point line. Reed swings it quickly left side. The entry pass from Hess to Garola, knocked away out of bounds by Euling. 6:52 to play here in the 4th quarter. Bearcats with the ball on a 4-point lead. Bulls inbounds it to Garola. 2 more for Nini Garola. She's got 17. Big effort today for Nini. Titus gives to Kaminsky. She'll let the 3 fly. That one bangs around the iron and pops out. Here comes Scottsbluff. Lead pass from Reed to Hess. Quickly back on the perimeter. Open for a moment was Reed. Now she'll drive it. Euling blocked her shot. It falls right to Ava. Reed bounces it to Garola. And it'll wind up a 3-point attempt and the make for Addie Boland. Boland's now got 9 points and biggest lead of the game here for Scottsbluff at 36-27. J.C. Burke gives to Kaminsky. Under 6 to play in the game. Burke on the right wing. Reed gives her plenty of space. Now driving it is Josie Douglas. She's fouled. And free throws coming for North Platte's Josie Douglas.
Wide open lane there. Kind of been looking at her left hand, Josie Douglas has. Not sure if she tweaked a finger or something. It hasn't really affected her much, but she just keeps shaking out that left hand.
And the first free throw attempt a little short.
For the Bulldogs, Phoenix Brown. And at the free throw line, Josie Douglas.
Groskopf comes in replacing Bowles. Titus to the bench. And Phoenix Brown back in for North Platte. Douglas misses both. The box out and rebound for Nini Garola. Cross-court pass to Ava Reed. Reed sends it right back to Hess. Zone defense here from North Platte. Bolin drives it. That is a tough shot. She got it to go. Addie Bolin now with 11 and a timeout needed and taken by North Platte. Scottsbluff extends their biggest lead of the game now to 11. Full timeout, 5:28 to play. Cats up 11 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Western Conference Basketball Tournament on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Wesco, Papa Murphy's, Team Auto Center, Riverstone Bank, and Advantage Chiropractic.
How can anybody concentrate with these busy schedules? Now you can. This is Ben Moravec coming to you from Hydrozen, a float therapy business right here in Scottsbluff. I'm here today to let you know we now have memberships for $49 monthly. You can guarantee yourself at least one float per month. You know how floating keeps your muscles relaxed, your joints relieved, and your brain clear to think? Now you can float at a reduced rate each month. Inquire today at hydrozenfloat.com or call us at 308-63-FLOAT. Hydrozen. Unplug and read.
5:28 to play in the fourth quarter. Scottsbluff girls have extended and taken control of this lead, this game, I should say, against North Platte, in front 38-27. Just a 4-point game at the end of the third quarter, but the Bearcats now have started fast, and they have outscored North Platte 9-2 in the fourth. J.C. Burke gives to Addison Euling. Euling comes to set a ball screen now for Abby Kaminsky, who drives it into the paint. That'll be an offensive foul called against Abby Kaminsky, crashing into the Scottsbluff defender. Looks like it's going to be tough for North Platte to turn this thing around here.
Yeah, they just haven't been able to find much offense here in this second half.
They'll go to that trapping zone, and a near steal, but winning the race to the floor to pick up that loose ball was Nini Garola for the Bearcats. Bolin to Hess. Reed to Nini at the foul line. She'll look right corner, finds the open shooter. Kinsley Hess, it won't go. Who touched it last? It actually stays in bounds. Scottsbluff has the ball. Shot clock reset. Scottsbluff will pull the ball out. Elbow jumper left for Groskopf. Too strong. And Burke with the board. Good look and good finish as Phoenix Brown lays it up and in. Phoenix Brown has 4 points in the game, and North Platte cuts it to single digits. The lead for Scottsbluff at 9. Hess going to be fouled by Euling.
Nice job by Hess that time to get what she could as she picked up that loose ball. Saw where she was on the floor and drove to the basket.
First attempt at the line for Kinsley Hess falls, and that's her first point either combined here. First point of the day. First point she scored here at the Palace in these last couple of games. She goes 1 for 2, and Euling grabs the rebound. 10-point lead. Scottsbluff has it 39-29. They drop back half court defensively. Josie Douglas backs the dribble out. Kaminsky on the right side wing, well behind the arc. 15 on the shot clock. Josie Douglas. Burke, they run her off a screen. Now they're going to run Kaminsky off a screen near side. Abby Kaminsky cut off. It comes back to Euling. 3 on the shot clock. 3-point shot rims out. And Mia Bowles runs down the rebound. Grabs it off the floor, and here come the Bearcats. Bolin. 3:25 to play in the game. Garola on the free throw line catch. Defense collapses on her. She gets it back outside. Addie Bolin will drive it. Cut off by Kaminsky. Shot clock at 10. Grosskopf underneath. Nice feed to Nini Garola. Don't know how she even got it that close to going in. Phoenix Brown bulldozes her way into the front court. Scrap on the floor, and here comes Scottsbluff. With the basketball, the shot won't go for Hess. That'll be a foul on Nini Garola, I believe, a push from behind, and the Bulldogs will get the ball back.
Short rest for Ava Reed on the Scottsbluff bench. She comes back in.
2:52 to play in our girls' third place game. Alliance Gehring boys next. Sydney Gehring girls after that. We'll close things out. Scheduled start time 3:30. I'm guessing around 4. Although we did pretty good yesterday, all things considered. And we'll get a foul away from the basketball. It'll go against Katie Titus, and Hattie Burford wants a timeout with 2:37 to play in the fourth quarter. Her Bearcats lead North Platte 39-29 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Western Conference Basketball Tournament on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Legacy Co-op, Bunkhouse Trailer Sales, WNCC, Russell's Automotive, and Reds. Coverage of the 2025 Western Conference Basketball Tournament on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Consumers Cooperative Federal Credit Union, Western Nebraska Regional Airport, Regional West, and Pipeworks Plumbing.
Chris Cottrell with Jeff Kelly. Tail end of our opening game here, the third place matchup in the girls bracket. Scottsbluff with a 10-point lead on North Platte in the basketball, 39-29. Addie Bolin up top. They'll keep it on the perimeter. We'll see if Scottsbluff looks to burn a little clock here. Shot clock down to 15. Reed. Finally, the ball winds up inside the three-point arc. Open look. Addie Bolin's going to shoot it. Jeff, this could be a real difference maker for Scottsbluff as they kind of regain their rhythm, adding Bolin back to the mix here. She's got 8 in the quarter and now 14 in the game.
A little bit of a slow start for her yesterday in her first game back, but I think she's definitely finding her way here in this third place game against North Platte as the Bulldogs turn it over on a travel call.
Couple of threes for Bolin so far today, again up to 14 points. 17 for Nini Garola leads all scorers. Less than 2 minutes to play, and Scottsbluff will win it here in this one, up by 13 points. Bowles at the elbow left side. Reed, Bolin. Addie Bolin picks up her dribble. Now on the catch. Garola dropped it off to Bowles. Hess can't get the shot to go. Offensive rebound for the Bearcats. They'll bring it back outside. They'll probably look to burn some clock here. Garola behind the foul line. Reed has it. Now Bolin. Mia Bowles to Hess. Addie Bolin feeling her oats. And a little too much strength to go along with it on that release. Airmailed that one to the baseline.
But a good job by Scottsbluff to burn some time off of that clock, get a shot that reset the shot clock.
1 minute to play. in the game. Ava Reed saw that pass coming from a mile away and a near steal. No one ever controlled it after Reed got the deflection. And North Platte will take a timeout.
30-second timeout.
It'll be a 30-second timeout. Quick game reset, 53 seconds to go in the fourth. 42-29, Scottsbluff has the 13-point lead. Nini Garolas scored 17. Addie Bolin has 14. And that's a good sign for Scottsbluff when they're, regardless of the opponent, to be able to win a game when Ava Reed isn't counted on to handle, 50% of the scoring. That's a good sign for Scottsbluff. I know they were disappointed leaving the locker room and the arena last night, but this has been a solid bounce-back effort today.
Yeah, definitely it has been. And Ava Reed with no points in that first quarter, and if it hadn't been for Nini Garola with her 6 in the first quarter, this could be a different game right now.
Scottsbluff led it by just 4 points after 3, but they have extended and now in complete control. North Platte will inbound. Douglas was barking at some teammates to come get the basketball. Loose on the floor, Kaminsky. Euling puts up the tray. Addison Euling. Someone got in her ear and said, look, if they're going to give you that much space on the perimeter, shoot the basketball. That is her second made 3. She's got 8 points. And a quick timeout taken by North Platte. And it's 42-32 with 44 seconds to play.
Doubting North Platte can make up a 10-point deficit in 44 seconds, obviously, but.
Well, we're going to be right on time for game number 2 as far as the start time's concerned. 12:30 the listed time for the Gehring Alliance boys. Out of the timeout, North Platte will give it one final go here with some full court pressure, and they'll foul quickly in the backcourt.
North Platte with a couple of fouls to give.
Foul on number 10. J.C. Fox, her third. North Platte's fourth.
They'll throw it in bounds to Garola. Garola spins and lays it up and in, and that should officially do it. Nini Garola, 6 in the quarter. She's got 19 points. 30 seconds to play. Kaminsky, the dribble handoff to Josie Douglas. Euling outside gives to Douglas. And that 3-point shot will bounce into the fourth row of the bleachers.
Full timeout, North Platte.
And North Platte will take a timeout. With 21 seconds to play in the game, we'll break along with the stoppage in play here. 44-32, Cats up 12 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Western Conference Basketball Tournament on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Allo, A. Elliott Law, Travis Hawk Shelter Insurance, Dustin White Irrigation, and B&C Steel.
Fouls on number 10, J.C. Fox, her fourth. North Platte's fifth. At the free throw line for the Bearcats.
On the inbounds pass, Ava Reed poked in the eye. A foul called on North Platte. That is the 4th personal on J.C. Fox, and Reed will toe the foul line for a pair. She has scored 7 points in the game.
Into the game for the Bulldogs, Katie Titus and J.C. Burke.
Able to hit the first. Another one on the way for Ava Reed. Was averaging 17.5 coming into this Western Conference tournament. Got both at the stripe. She's got 9 points, 19 seconds to play in the ball game. Scottsbluff will improve to 9-10. Douglas to Euling, 8 seconds to play. Euling to Kaminsky, one final three-point attempt, and that will do it. Your final score today, 46-32. The Scottsbluff girls finish in third place here in the Western Conference tournament with a 14-point win over North Platte. We'll get to our Runs of Post-Game show right after this.
Western Conference Basketball Tournament on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Wesco, Papa Murphy's, Team Auto Center, Riverstone Bank, and Advantage Chiropractic. Coverage of the 2025 Western Conference Basketball Tournament on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Legacy Co-op, Bunkhouse Trailer Sales, WNCC, Russell's Automotive, and Reds.
Let's get right to a look at the numbers here after the Scottsbluff girls improved to 9-10. They beat North Platte 46-32. 14-point win. They had 5 players score. A check on stats after this victory for the Bearcats, brought to you by Dr. Levi Boland and Advantage Chiropractic, where you can call for an appointment at 633-1425. Nini Garola led everybody in scoring, both teams. She had 19 to pace the Cats. Addie Boland next in line with 14. Ava Reed had 9. Heidi Grosskopf finished with 3. And Kinsley Hess, 1 point coming from the foul line. 4 for 6 as a team at the stripe. 4 made 3-pointers. I had Scottsbluff with just 10 turnovers unofficially. That same number for North Platte, as they had 6 players score. Abby Kaminsky, the lone player for the Bulldogs, in double figures. She had 10. Addison Euling stepped in and finished with 8. You had 4 points. Check that, 5 for J.C. Burke, 4 for Phoenix Brown, 3 for Katie Titus, and Josie Douglas finished with 2 points in the loss. Scottsbluff wins it again, 46-32, the final score. So what we'll do right now is we'll wrap things up here for this broadcast. We'll join you in a few minutes on KMOR 93.3 for the Gering boys game against Alliance. And of course, we'll be back for that game as well on KNEB.TV platforms as well. Your final score from the girls' third place championship game here at WNCC. Scottsbluff wins it over North Platte 46-32 on the West Coast scoreboard.